submit the data for impact.
So right here, the first thing I want to see here is boys, total boys. So this is our segregation in terms of sex. Total girls. So this is now how you are going to be designing your data. And then here now we'll put total children. So you use the same formulas that I use and the same principle, numbers. And then I'll come down here now, and then I put IDP. I put the total. I'll come here now and I put hosts. And then I put that on. I come here and I put returnee. And then I save. And then I come here and I put total status. And then I put. Now, as we saw in 5Ws, we also did something like we did a validation there, and also give some query messages. So here also we want a situation where our total status must be equal to our total children. That's the situation that we want. So here we are going to come here. First of all, we are going to create our calculation here. Data columns, $sign and curly bracket open, and then we look for the data column name. Control C. We paste it inside there. Close that. Shift plus. Shift. $sign. Sorry. Curly bracket open. We come to girls. That's a data column name that has been given. You can change that data column name, but I always advise that you use what is given, because some of you can change it and then start creating errors in your form. And then I'll say calculate. And that is it. I also come here to returnee. And I say that data column name, open curly bracket, I'll take for IDP. Always come and copy and paste to emphasize that location. Open my curly bracket plus shift $sign curly bracket open. I come to host, copy, Control C, come and paste it there. Close my curly bracket space plus $sign open curly bracket open. Then I come to returnee, Control C, Control V, curly bracket closed. So now I'm saying that IDP plus host plus returnee, and then I want a calculation to be appearing here, and I save. If I want respondents to be seeing the calculation, then I'm going to apply notes, but I don't want that to happen. Okay? But what I want here is just to apply my formulas. See what I'm going to do now. What we do usually, we come now to our total status. We want everything that is being calculated here under total boys to be equal to this total status. I'm just being creative here, and you can do the same. I'll come here now and I go to and I put my stuff. I'll now say this particular total status, which is dot, which represent dot, should be equal to this calculation of total boys and girls. I'll come and take the data column name here, because that is where that's a code that it sums under. Then I bring it down here, and then I open my $sign curly bracket open, Control V, curly bracket closed. So I'm saying that this must be equal to this. It's a condition I'm giving. it must be equal to this. And I'm saying that if this is not equal to this, I'll now say, please do it well. You can write anything that you want to write here. Then now I'll open my normal bracket, and then I'll just copy this from this $sign, because I'm saying that if this is not happening, then there should be an error message here for me, and then I save. Now when I come to preview, you see that under preview I have something that is very important. Now if someone is putting in data, right, and they say 2 boys, 2 girls, total is 4, this is very good. If they come and say 1 IDP, 2 hosts, and 4 returnee. No, sorry. 1 IDP, 2 hosts, and 4 returnee. And then I put 5 here. You see that there's an issue. Why? Because this total status must be equal to total sex. So you can apply this error message here, or you can start applying it before or after total children. So I'm just showing you how you can begin to clean your data before you start collecting data, or during collecting data. It's very, very important. Do we have any question from this time, please? You deploy this form. Always know that when you don't deploy a form, when they collect data, it will not come into your system. Always pay attention to that. You must always deploy your form. Now that we have deployed this form, we will now go under this submission option here, and then we will select Android application. I always like to refresh. When I do that, I refresh. I'll come again, select my Android application. Now, once I select my Android application, there are things that you have to share with, that I have to share with you, or that you have to share with your field staff or whoever to be able to connect to that form. And every link is, this particular link is unique to the whole system. I'll explain to you when you start seeing it practically. Now, it says install a Kobocollect app, which we have done so. Select the option manually enter project details, which I'm going to be showing you on my phone. I hope that my phone will show on the screen. Enter the server URL and your username and password. Select download from form and select this project. Now select start new form and select this project from the list of download projects. So I'm going to share the screen of my phone now to you. So now that I have selected my app, I have opened my app. So here I'm going to come, those of you who are opening for the first time, you would see this small K, or you see setting, you just click that small K. Setting. Manually add project. You see what I've done? What I did was simple. I went here, then I went to add project. But if you don't see this add project, you can move ahead and go to setting, but always make sure you click this add project. When you click that add project here, it asks you to go by your QR code. We are not doing that today. Just select your manual, enter your manual details, and you click. When you click, you will see 3 options here: the URL, the username, and the password. You wait for me. I'm going to send you the URL of this particular project. I'm going to copy this URL, and I give you my username and my password for you to use and enter into this system. Once you do that, then now you will go to this interface will appear. This interface will appear. So in this interface, what you are going to do is, you are going to select download form. When you click download form, it will begin to connect you now to the server. Okay? To the server. You will now find all the projects that are in my server, in my Kobotoolbox form, line up here. Then you will now choose the one that I'll ask you to choose, which is data for impact. And then from there now, we'll move ahead to show you how to start responding. For instance, let's say this is a form that you have chosen. I have selected, right? You now say get form. Get form means remove it from that server and bring it into your phone locally. I'll now select and say get server. I select this option. All downloaded successfully. I'll now come back here and then go exactly to where I see start form, and I click start form. When I click start form, that question that I brought from my server into my local phone, I'll start answering that form. Okay, this is the form. For instance, I'll start seeing questions. Now, organization name, interview, and other stuff. So, so I'm going to send you information of all the server, the URL, the username, and the password for you to use and get into my system, and then we move on from there. So just give me some time, please. Let me send it to you. I'll send it through the chat box. So you take it from there and then you use it. Don't forget URL, username, and password, and then you continue. Now, once you are here, you go to download form. It will pick every form that is in your server. You will now decide to choose which one you want to download. Now I've chosen to download data for impact, and I choose my selected. Once you see this small message, it says all downloads successful or succeeded, then your form has been downloaded. It brings you back to this interface. Go straight forward to start form because it has already shown you that your form has been successful. Remember, you can download more than one form. If you download more than one form, all of them will be placed down here. Now I want to start, right? I'll go here. This is our note question that we designed. It says, hello all, please, this data will be protected. We go to next. Southwest. I go to next. The divisions of Southwest appear. I go to next. Subdivisions appear. I go to next. I'm a male. I go to next. My age is 19. Remember, we put a condition that we all saw, right? That if I put 15, it will give me an error. Because we said it has to be above 17. We are now seeing here live. I'll put 19, go to next. My name is Hilary, right? I go to next. Supplies, school supplies, I go to next. Pens, I go to next. I can select more than one year, I go to next. There was a violence, I go to next. Are you pregnant? I'm not a girl, boy, I go to next. Now remember up there I had to choose male. That condition was dislodged because of one or two reasons. Now, my total boys is 2. My total girls is 2. Now, my total children has to be 4. If I put 5, then there's an error. No, we did not put any data validation there. Okay, so I'll put 4. Now, IDP is 2. Host is 3. And returnee is 3. Total is 6. So there's a problem because we put a condition here and said, please do it well. And we said, if total boys or total status is 4, then our total, if total sex, which is boy and girl, is 4, then our status too need to be 4 because our data from status is coming from the data from sex. You see our condition here, right? So I cannot continue with this form until I correct this. I'll go back here and I put 4. That is when the form allows me. Now, I wanted to show you practically and realistically how this works and how this can help your data management systems. I'll come here and I say finalize. I have filled my form. Now, when they finish, they can do this without internet. When they finish, they have to come now and click this button that says ready to send. I'll click this button. Now, let's say I have done 1,000 submissions or 100 submissions. All the submissions will be lined up here. I'll now be selecting each submission, or I'll select all, this option. When I select all, I'll now say send selected form that I have, that respondents have already answered the questions. I'll now click send. You see, upload result, data for impact successful submission. I'll now click OK. If I come now to my server here, and I refresh. We are inside my saver, right? And then I refresh. Once I refresh and I come to my data here, you would see that submission. This is the submission that I just sent now. This particular submission, today is January 20th. This is the submission that I just sent. This one up here. The other submissions you see is yesterday when I was testing the form, trying to test some 1 or 2 stuff, right? So this submission I just sent, remember we said your data has to be 4. So when we reach around total status, the form said we cannot move further, right? That it must be equals to the total sex, which is girls, which is total children here, which is sex. And then like I told you that these are the calculations, you see? The calculations are appearing here. This can appear into the Excel form because it is telling us that boys plus girls is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. 14 plus 1 is 50. So it is appearing in your data. So when you bring this into Excel, you will see this portion for calculation showing you that you are calculating this column, and it's appearing here. All you need to do in Excel is to transform this calculation now to total children, and you still have it here, and then you compare both. So this is how simple it is to do this. Now I want to bring you back to my phone. You see? So my phone is here. That's my phone. And we have just sent a form, and then if I come here, you will see form sent. This is the form that has been sent, and that is it. Okay, we can delete form. It shows that the form that we had answered, maybe there was an error, we can delete it. Okay, so take note of this as well. You can see the option down here. I say delete form. You just click, and then you select the form and you delete. That's all. And then you select the form, right? Have you seen? Have you seen the form that I'm deleting?
Yes, it's okay. I've done that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you all for being here.
All right. Make sure that you answer your, submit your assignments. See you soon.